Back here on Dodger Weekly on KVFD AM 1400, the voice of Fort Dodge. Glad to have you this morning and glad to be joined by my next guest. He's the Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development for Nightingale College, Jonathan Tanner. Jonathan, good to have you on the program. Thanks for the time.
Hey, it's great to be here, Rob. I appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. Now, Nightingale College, for folks that don't know, you guys are a college system that really kind of focuses on the nursing world and the healthcare profession, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We actually only focus on nursing. We have an associate degree program that we'll be bringing this fall, but our main focus in Iowa has been the Bachelor's of Nursing, and we'll be having a full cohort in September, so we're excited to continue to serve the communities of Iowa.
Now, you guys have opened a new hub in Ames, Iowa, just down the road from us here in the Fort Dodge area. I looked at kind of your map of where you guys have hubs at, and you have them all over the nation. Now you have one here in Iowa. Why Ames? Why this area? Why is Nightingale trying to branch out here?
Yeah, it's a great question. The mission of Nightingale College has been to serve communities that are underserved and that they don't have access to nursing education as much as the employers demand. And so we have, over the last 6 and 7 years, spread the impact of what our nursing programs have done in underserved communities. And Iowa is one of those states that employers are asking for more nurses, and we partner with those employers to make sure that our graduates have good community partners and access to employment after graduation. And Ames was one that we received a lot of support from a lot of different healthcare systems, and so we chose Ames as the central hub to service that area.
Jonathan Tanner from Nightingale College, the Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development, my guest here. Nightingale.edu is their website. You can find out more information about them. And Jonathan, you talked a little bit about building partnerships here, healthcare facilities, partnerships with them here in the Iowa area, and looking at the list that I was sent, it kind of amazed me. It seems like you guys have a partnership with almost every major healthcare facility and provider here in the state of Iowa, and certainly you have ones that are here in this area. How were you able to build those partnerships?
We have an entire function at Nightingale that works to obviously connect and to build those relationships. What we're really focused on, obviously, is a community focus. You can't do it with just one healthcare system. It's all of them coming together, and if we're going to solve the nursing demands of that geography, it really does take a collaborative effort from all of these different healthcare systems. And we're very appreciative of the partners that we have in Iowa. We've been received very well, and we're excited to be able to produce these confident, competent, and compassionate nurses for that community.
Now, I know with Nightingale College, you guys don't guarantee employment after graduation or after completion of courses, but you guys do work to place people with your partners and that kind of thing, and place people in career situations. What percentage would you say that go through your program ends up landing a job with one of your healthcare partners?
Yeah, our employment rate is in the 80 percentile of those people that will go to work for our partners post-graduation. And that doesn't mean that they don't, go to work. There's so many different avenues that a nurse can choose after graduation of how they're going to be employed and how they're going to use the skills that they got in college. But the school itself tracks, are they working as a registered nurse in a field that requires that degree? And, that percentage varies by area, but it ranges anywhere between 83 to 90% of those that go on to pass the NCLEX, the National Nursing Exam, to go on into place in the healthcare industry. And so we just celebrated, actually, just a few months ago, that Nightingale College has now graduated over 1,000 nurses in these underserved communities, and so we're feeling, obviously really blessed that we get to be able to participate in the healthcare systems and this employment and changing lives and educating those people that want to become nurses.
Yeah, not only do you empower and give them the opportunity to kind of build a career or make a career change, but you also provide with education of those nurses. You provide them in underserved areas, which I think is just as important, Jonathan, because, people in this country, a lot of times you get the idea that there's the West Coast, there's the East Coast, then there's everything else. And what people don't understand is there's a lot of area in Iowa and places around the heartland that is underserved and doesn't have the qualified candidates. Now, you guys are doing what you can do to kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah, Rob. One of the tragedy of COVID, obviously, was that it affected on-ground nursing programs a lot. Many of them had to shut down, and
Sure.
It disrupted the nursing education. But what we were able to do during that is innovate our program because it is already so much online. And we were actually able to innovate even further on the on-ground portion to include augmented reality and, special kits that we're shipping out so that the learning was not disrupted during this time. But one amazing innovation that came out of that was we have a new track in our BSN program that now is even reaching further into underserved communities and helping them not commute as much into the hub. And what we're seeing, we'll have our first full cohort in September that is going to be enrolled in this track. And what we've seen is we've been able to reach even to further rural communities. And when you're able to educate those people locally, after graduation, they stay locally, they continue to serve those local healthcare systems. And, that really is the answer, I think, to what you're talking about the distribution of nurses and RNs throughout a state and really helping those critically underserved areas get the right staff to take care of the healthcare of those communities. So, yeah, we're excited about that new track within our BSN program, and we'll be bringing that to Iowa.
Jonathan Tanner, the Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development for Nightingale College, is my guest. Nightingale.edu is where you go to find out more information about the programs they offer. They offer just nursing in terms of a discipline, but Jonathan, you guys have a variety of different routes that somebody who is wanting to get into the nursing field or is already in it and wants to maybe extend their education. You guys have got some different programs within the nursing discipline. Talk about the different programs you offer.
Yeah, so we'll have two programs there that are leading to. We'll have a new student to an LPN program. We'll have an LPN to a RN associate degree that will be coming in this next year. We have the bachelor's degree program, which is a pre-licensure bachelor's degree program, so you can come out of high school and enroll in that and move to a registered nurse level. And then we also have a master's degree in nursing, and that one has a devoted specialty in education. So those people that want to be faculty for Nightingale College or faculty to the local community nursing colleges, they would be enrolling in the master's degree in education program. So, we offer a wide range, but we are devoted to nursing education and meeting those nursing supply demands.
Yeah, absolutely you are. Now, you touched on something that I find very interesting. You guys are kind of on the forefront or the cutting edge of this, from what I can tell in what you guys do, and that is your virtual clinical simulations, and so much of what you guys do is online, so it kind of gives opportunity for students to be able to, in this time of pandemic, not have to go into hospitals and do a lot of the clinical stuff. They can do a lot of it online. Talk about that a little bit, and what percentage would you say is done online as opposed to going, on campus at one of your hubs?
Yeah, it's a great question. The two tracks that you can enroll in the BSN program, one of them is a stronger on-ground program where you'll be very close inside of Ames, and you would be going into that simulation several times a week. And then the rest of the didactic, the classroom instruction, is happening, online via the internet. And then we have this new track that we've been innovating this year that would allow us to have, where only 2 weeks a semester, somebody would become to do skills pass-offs and to be there with the local faculty and to really to make sure that they're maintaining that high expectation that Nightingale College has and the quality of nurses that we're producing. But with what you're talking about, augmented reality and virtual reality, and so much we can do via distance. The quality of these has really taken off over the last several years, and we've been monitoring that because obviously we want to maintain the community demands that these nurses maintain a certain level of understanding and competence. And really, it's only been within the last year or two that these augmented and virtual realities have, in our studies, have actually shown better results. And the intensity of these experiences has really brought out just a wonderful nurse. And so we're so excited to be able to introduce that. And like you said, we are a leader in this, and we're doing our very best to communicate with other schools about the possibility of bringing this in and showing them just what it is in elevating nursing.
Jonathan Tanner, my guest, the Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development for Nightingale College. Nightingale College has just opened a new hub in Ames that they are offering courses through there, and they are a college that focuses solely on the nursing program and nursing field. And Jonathan, obviously we know that there's job security in nursing. We've known that. We know that even more now with this pandemic. But one thing I find interesting, you guys only do nursing. That's your focus. That's your passion. That's your dedication. I feel like it gives you guys an advantage on some of the other schools who kind of do a variety of different things. All your eggs is in that basket. That's your sole focus. Do you feel like you have an advantage, your students gain an advantage from that?
We have a focus. I mean, we have a defined purpose at Nightingale College. We understand what we're exactly trying to accomplish for those communities that we serve. I think there is an advantage to having that level of focus where all of your operations that you're running and all of the staff and support staff, they all know why they're here. And if anyone works for Nightingale College, it's because they have a passion for nursing. They have a passion for solving the problems around nurse staffing and healthcare and improving the health of the communities that we serve. And so, as far as advantage, I would say yes. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to work, and it provides a focus and a purpose to what we're doing every day.
Jonathan, my last question for you. I know that in your literature on your website, nightingale.edu, it talks about how students can earn a degree in nursing, various degrees of nursing that you guys offer, faster than you can the traditional college route. How much on average shorter is it for a student to earn a degree through you guys as opposed to the traditional route for nursing school?
Yeah, great question. There are literature out there that talks about that Nightingale College is an accelerated program, and that is not exactly accurate. What the difference is between Nightingale is we haven't shortened the curriculum. The curriculum is very intense. The rigor is very intense. But one of the things that we require our students to do is that they don't take summers off. There's a small break in between each semester. For them obviously to rest and rejuvenate and get ready for that next push. But we don't take summers off. And so while a traditional BSN program might take you, somewhere in the range of 48 months, our BSN program will take you about 32 months. And, we do that because those breaks really disrupt, learning and learning patterns and how our building blocks build as they move through the semesters. And so we found, in order to maintain the highest level of quality, that we don't take those summers off. And so, the BSN program is around 32 months based upon the general education or other credits that you'd be transferring into the programs.
Nightingale.edu has more information for you. Nightingale College has just opened a new hub in Ames. They are solely focused on nursing and being able to transition students from their program to the workforce. My guest has been Jonathan Tanner, Nightingale College Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development. Jonathan, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for the time, and thank you for coming on and telling us more about what you guys are doing at Nightingale College.
Appreciate it, Rob. Thanks for all you're doing for your community as well. You're doing a great job, so we appreciate you a lot. We appreciate